In the 1950s, there was still an acute housing shortage in Berlin. It was a problem that needed solving fast, but the city planners in both East and West Berlin weren't satisfied with just finding quick answers. The common goal was to provide modern, spacious apartments for the man on the street. In 1952, work began on Stalinallee in East Berlin, 3,000 apartments for the workers. Architect Hermann Henselmann designed Strausberger Platz, monumental workers' palaces built in the Stalinistic wedding cake style. Party officials wanted buildings resembling those in Moscow.
They thought they had to offer the proletariat something different. The richness in form that had previously existed now needed to be made accessible to the masses.
Almost all of the 3,000 apartments were completed within the first year. Isa Henselmann was 11 years old back then. She says she'll never forget the huge numbers of women working to clear away the rubble and the army of construction workers. The new buildings were designed by her father. Stalinallee stood for a better future in a socialist society.
Stalinallee meant luxury. The first post-war ice cream parlor was located there, and the first candy store where I saw a chocolate doll. I thought, wow, an entire doll made of chocolate. What incredible luxury.
Stalinallee soon became the #1 symbol for East Germany's reconstruction plan, a propaganda success story. The West was under pressure to compete. In 1957, internationally acclaimed architects built a futuristic housing project in West Berlin. The Hanse District in Tiergarten was the showcase of the International Building Exhibition, designed to show the world how architects were building modern homes for people living in freedom in West Berlin.
Die haben auf den Weg bekommen einen Eigenschaftskatalog, wie die Architektur
The architects were instructed to create buildings that were bright, colorful and attractive.
Sie sollte ein angenehm aufnehmen.
The buildings were to be welcoming and radiant.
Das waren also die
That is how they envisaged contemporary architecture back then.
Zeitgemäßen Architektur.
In 1957, Renate Kolms moved into her new home in the Hanse District with her husband and child. It had underfloor heating, triple glazing, and a garbage chute. Unbelievable luxury back then.
When we moved in, I thought, how am I going to fill all these empty cupboards in the fitted kitchen? But they soon filled up. We weren't used to having so much living space. And the apartment is very spacious, with plenty of room to move around.
The new buildings offered spacious accommodation with plenty of sunlight and open-plan designs for simple, modern furnishings.
Es gab auch im Möbelbau
Furniture and design were simple and clear-cut.
Stichwort ist der
For example, the famous brown Phonosuper radio and record player. It was the calling card for intellectuals who wanted to show they knew what was modern.
Wir wissen, was modern ist. Und es gab natürlich auch
The kidney-shaped coffee tables and reading lamps were very popular. Anything that gave your everyday life a frivolous and relaxed appearance.
Dem Alltag so einen leicht frivolen und lockeren Anschein gab.
Le Corbusier's 135-meter-long machine for living was too big for the Hanse District, so it was built further out of town. The U.S. gave the Congress Hall to the people of West Berlin as a present. Built near to a crossing point to East Berlin, it was to shine out as a beacon of freedom. East Germany wanted to prove it was on the up and up when it came to urban planning. In a competition for redesigning East Berlin's city center, Hermann Henselmann presented a design for a 300-meter-tall broadcasting tower. East Berlin's TV tower was never actually built that high, but it was to prove a sensation in the 1960s.